What's up, guys? Black Eyes here with the Games Revolution, and I'm going to tell you a little story about how I graduated from high school. I was going to say college, but I mean high school. I'm still in college without going to class. Like going to class like 2 times in the entire semester. The last semester of my school. The last semester, which determined if you was going to graduate, only went to class twice. And so let's get started. So I'm a really bad student. Like I'm probably the worst student somebody could ever have as like a teacher. And it's not like I'm not like slow, retarded, or stupid or anything like that. Like I understand that what the person is trying to teach. It's just that I don't really care what they're trying to what they're trying to teach me, and I always been like that. I never really learned from teachers, and that's just something that I never really learned how to like not learn or teach myself things ahead of time. I'm the type of person that I'm a fast learner. I'm an extremely fast learner, and I like to know like random facts. So whenever like an idea pops up in my head or like a random thought, I search it up, do a little research, and sometimes I just learn. I go from wondering how a mirror reflects to learning how a gecko, when a gecko changes color, I mean not a gecko, damn it, I forgot what it's called, the lizards that change colors, like how they don't really change colors because they're scared. They change it because of like the mood they're feeling, and that they're not really changing their skin color. They're just letting certain light reflect from their skin. So like when they're green, they're letting green. They're not letting green pass by. So that's why green is shown. But if they want to go red, then there's like small crystals in their skins that when they want to be red, they become red. Like when they're trying to mate or something like that, they turn red, and the crystals just let green go back, pass by, and blocks out red, which stays on the skin, and basically stuff like that. Like I'm always interested in stuff like that, and sometimes it's just a stupid question, and I always like searching it up on Google, and it just brings you to like a whole different world. And this is why I'm a bad student, because things that people try to teach me, I already know. So last year, which was my senior year in high school, I was taking multimedia. I was majoring in multimedia because my school was a technical school, so you can either go A+, which is computer repair and building computers. And I built my computer in middle school, and like I learned how to like doing basic repairs on my computer, motherboards, and CPU, and stuff like that. Like I learned that if you're like how you could put certain devices in the oven and let them like melt a little bit, not like completely melt, but melt a little bit so that they're being aligned and it will work again. And I learned that already when I was building my computer, and so I didn't want to do that. And I really love the idea of programming and being a programmer, so that's why I chose multimedia, which is basically what multimedia is basically programming mixed with graphic design and video editing. But we didn't really focus on video editing on that class. It was over 3 years. The first year we learned HTML. The second year some Photoshop, and actually no, the first year it was HTML and Photoshop, but the second year was Java. We learned Java. Wait, no, we didn't learn Java. We learned CSS and yeah, Java. Did we learn Java? No, we started to learn Java, but we never really did anything. We just basically did Hello World. I actually think that was like the only assignment on under Java, or I probably didn't do it or whatever. And and then we went the year after that, which was my senior year last year. We did the Flash, Photoshop, Dreamweaver, and setting up a server, more HTML and web designing, like more into it, and and Flash with ActionScript, which is programming language inside Flash to make like Flash games. So basically, when I first came into multimedia, I knew HTML already, it's like a little bit. And there was this guy named Ash in my classroom, and we just like, he's like OD smart. Like I'm like right here as fast learner and outsmart, and he's like way over here. Like he's off the screen right now. Like this is him and this is me, and this is like the average person. Like I'm barely that much faster of a learner. So basically, he didn't know how to program, but then he learned how to program in like a week. He learned how to do he learned HTML, which is easy. I learned that in a couple days too. But then he learned C++, assembly, Java, JavaScript, and he was learning Python by the second year. So he learned five languages in like less than a year, and like fluently. Like he could just give him something and he could code it. And with me, like I never learned how to code. I just know how to read code. So like you give me a code, I could tell you exactly what this does and when it does it and how it does it and why it does it. But I never learned how to like get from like a blank page into like a full-on game until like a couple months ago. And that's for Java. But that's beside the story. So me and him hit it off, and we would just like compete and just fool around and just talk, and like we would just like push ourselves to do better. And that's why by the time we were in like our senior year last year, we didn't have to do any work or class. Like he actually did all his work in like 5 minutes, and so that's why like I didn't do no work at all. He did his work in 5 minutes. I couldn't. He did like 20 assignments in like 5 minutes. I could do 10 in like 5. And I mean, yeah, 10 in 5 minutes. So it will take me twice as long, but the 20 assignments were supposed to be done in like in a period of like a month or 2 months. He would take 5 minutes. I would take 10. So that's how it was. We were always competing. So he always finished his work, and then I never did any work. Like I only went to his class twice, and it's because he started posting all his work online, and so I didn't have to actually go to class to actually do his work. But at the same time, I would go home and just relax and just chill and not do his work at all. And the reason is because I knew programming, I knew all the stuff, and I used to get by because like he made a deal that we were just learning Flash and ActionScript, and I never knew ActionScript. So he made a challenge for the whole class. Whoever makes a game, or like it could be grouped or solo. So whoever makes a game gets 100 in that class automatically for that whole semester. But it has to be a good game. Like it has to work. Like it just can't be a picture. You press a button and then that picture goes away. And that's not a game. It has to be like a functioning game. Like you have to have objectives and whatnot. So I did that. Got a easy 100, and that's how I got past like the first semester. And then the second semester, I didn't do no work. I didn't show up to his class. I would just cut his class every day. And I mean, I would see him in like the morning. We just talk, and he would just warn me that if I don't do all his assignments by end of the grading period, I'm gonna fail. And I'm telling him that I have enough time. He's like, "Are you sure you're giving yourself enough time to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." So it turns out I was the only one that actually did every single project before the deadline, and I did all the projects on the day of the deadline. so it was like 20 projects and like 10 tests or something like that, and I did that all on the day of the deadline, and it was like an hour before the deadline, and I was the only one that was able to finish the class with 100. With only going to this class twice, I got 100 as my final grade, and that's like how it ended. But I was always good in multimedia because like I said, like when something interests me, I search it up and I learn. In middle school, I ran. Well, let me see. When I first started playing games, FPS, when I played Combat Arms for the first time, the hackers started coming in. This is before like the golden age. This is like the dark ages where hackers started coming in. Like in the really beginning, not when like older hackers, not the hackers war of Combat Arms. It was just like a couple hackers, and I was like, this is interesting, like hacking. And I was good at the game because I was a natural gamer back then. So I was really good at the game, but then I was never being able to like put on scores like hackers do, like 5.0 KD. I would usually be able to pull off a 2.0, or like maybe like a 3 in some games. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go search up hacking, and I searched up hack. I downloaded it, and I made my own private room with like a couple people I met on the site. And then I started testing it out, and I was like, yo, this is actually pretty fun. And it wasn't like because I was doing OD good, because I was doing good before. It was pretty fun because like I was doing something that the game wasn't meant to do. So I was like, this is beyond cool. Like, I'm jumping like 1,000,000 feet and not dying from fall damage when you die instantaneously from like a 3 feet fall in this game. So I'm like, and you could fly around, and I could run as fast as possible. And I could like aimbot, and I was like, this was like my heaven. I was like, oh my god. So then I started searching up like how they were doing it. Like I was not like the coding aspect, but like what it takes to like be able to do that. And so then I got into modding because of it, because I went to the hacking site and they were like, they're saying they take years to learn how to make your own hacks. So I was like, you know what? I don't have years, and I want to do something. So I did develop a mod for this site called Digital Prodigy. And at first I was a mod tester, and I started testing a mod for like this famous modder, which he was an asshole because we had a falling out, and he stole my credit from testing out his mod. He would just give it to somebody else, and like it will have my username on it. And it would be my character, but he would give the credit to somebody else for testing the mod. So then, because of that, we had the falling out. I created my own. I started making my own mods, and I made a mod that nobody has ever done before. It was turning your knife into a flamethrower, because they turned the knife to a minigun, so that when you attack with your knife, you will be like swinging your knife like 100 times per second, which would instantly kill everybody when you were near it, because that's like 100 knives, and it only takes like 3 or 4 knives to kill somebody. So then I made that got patched. Like nobody was able to make the knife into a minigun. So I was like, wait, the flamethrower is basically like a minigun, but it's not shooting bullets. It's just shooting flames. So in theory, you'll be able to shoot, like if you switched it, you'll be able to shoot your knife continuously. So you'll be slashing continuously, non-stop. So it's not like 100 slices per second. It'll be like faster than that. It'll be like a couple thousand, because it's just flowing with fire. Like, so then I tried it, and then I mean at first I wasn't thinking about it. At first I was like, yo, you know what would be cool? Like, imagine turning your knife into a flamethrower, and like just like seeing how cool it looks, like trying to slice or like slice somebody while using a flamethrower. And then I'm like, oh snap! I just killed this guy with like less than a second, because I just like sliced him like 1,000,000 times because of the flamethrower. So from there, I started releasing my own mods in Digital Prodigy, and then I started getting more following, and I got big in that site. Then I became a leecher, which is basically somebody that takes hacks from other sites and posts them on their site, which is Digital Prodigy. It wasn't my site. but it was a site I was affiliated with, so I would just leech. And then from there, I was like, people kept on like certain, like the coders would complain that I wasn't giving them enough credit, even though I was like saying this is from the user. They wanted me to put their website in it, but I can't do that because it's against the rules. And then mind you, I'm taking your hack, putting your that you made it, your contact information, but I'm not putting your site because I'm not gonna give you traffic from this hacking site to go to another one. So because at that time it was like really competitive, like it was like a lot of money in the hacking industry for Commodores at that time. So then I got a falling out again with the community because I was supposed to become a moderator for the site. Like I was like the prime candidate of becoming a moderator for the site because I grew to a point that everybody knew me on the site, and I was well respected in the modding side of the site, as well as the leeching and hacking site part of the site. Because I was getting hacks that haven't been posted on the site yet, and I was the first one there, testing the hacks out, making videos for it, and screenshotting it, and telling you exactly how to inject the hack to make it work and how to make it undetectable. So then I got cheated off of that, and the modder that I used to test for became the moderator, and that pissed me off. So I was like, screw this, and I decided to make my own site with a different coder. Like I got a coder from Digital Prodigy, and I was like, yo, you're gonna make a hack from my site. And then I got a guy that wanted to advertise for me, so I made a site. I forgot what it was called, but I made a site, and then me and the coder got into like an argument because he wanted to like co-own the site with me, and I was like, no, you're just going to work for me, and then you're gonna get paid a percentage of that of the profit we make. So if we sell the hacks for $10, you make 25% of the $10. But he wanted to co-own and get 50-50, and I was like, no, we have to pay everybody else. And then words were exchanged, and then he went back to Digital Prodigy, but then he hacked my site. He couldn't fully hack it. He got access to the site, so he was able to change certain things. But then I was able to change it back, and then he couldn't hack it anymore. So then I got mad, and because I'm a well-respected member of Digital Prodigy, and like it was a decent clean break at that time, I decided to go back to that site and was like, yo, I'm leaving. Y'all want to come with me? And I started having people to join me, and then I got banned from Digital Prodigy because I was stealing a lot of their members, and then I got banned. So I created another account, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna crash your site. So then I started I crashed their site without even DOSing it or anything. I crashed their site by doing something so basic. It's hilarious because I knew that site wasn't really set up well. So I decided to spam threads. I created like hundreds of threads every minute with just my website name and saying Digital Prodigy sucks and they're going down and stuff like that, whatever. I was just saying like they just bad leadership, and that's at the time when the admin of the site left right after he made the moderator that I used to work for the moderator instead of me. So he left. So nobody was running the site except for like the moderator and this guy, which was the new mod. And they didn't know what to do. So I was like, you know what? This is perfect because nobody else knows how to run the site and knows anything. Like your coder left, and the only person that knows how to like code are not here. They're like on different sites. So I took down their website, crashed it because I posted too many threads and the website couldn't handle it. And after that, the site never worked. Then I had to close down my site because I started leeching hacks, and then I was like, yeah, I can't just keep on continuing leeching because I wasn't making money and I had to pay bills on the site. So I decided to, wow, I just went on a really long tangent, but I'm gonna finish the story and I'm gonna end the video here. So I decided to hire my friend. His name was Raymond, and he was already working at a different site as a programmer, and he came and made me one hack, like one VIP hack, which I was planning on selling it, but then I decided to give it away for free. And then that hack started not to work anymore because I got a patch, and I told him that, and then we had like communication breakdown because he was working on a different site, and we weren't going to the same school anymore, so we couldn't see each other. And this was like around middle school time, so there was communication breakdown, and then after a while we just stopped being in contact. So then I was like, screw this, and then I took his code, and then I just looked at it. I spent like a couple hours looking at it, and then I was trying to read it, and then for like after like a couple hours, like I say 3 hours, because at this point I did some searching for coding. I did the Hello World, but I never got past Hello World. Like I got to different stages of Hello World, but I never passed like the whole complete Hello World, and then me making like my own game or anything like that. It was just, all I knew was to read basic coding. But after like an hour or two, all his lines of code clicked for me, and then I was able to edit the code every time I got patched and make it work. Then I opened my site and then started coding and giving out free hacks. And then I closed that site down because I mean, I got too busy. I was playing baseball, and this is 9th grade. I started playing baseball. The site wasn't profitable, and like the hacking community got like saturated, so there was no point, and I got bored of it. Like it was no longer a challenge, and everybody else was programming. Like at this time is when all the great hacking war, or whatever you want to call it in common. That's when like everybody just became like, they started releasing bases of code like for the hacks. So basically all you had to do was change the addresses. Every time they patch it, you would just change the addresses, and it'll like unpatch the hack because you get new addresses from the game and plug it into your hack, into the code, and it will work again. And so everybody became a programmer, air quotes. So then I gave up, and then that's like the extent of my coding knowledge. And then that's how I was able to learn, as like I was able to do all the work in my senior year from programming, because like once you learn one language, then you know almost all the other languages. Not like not the syntax or not that, but basically how it works, like how programming works. So you could, if I know C++, I could go to Java and look at the lines of code, and I know how everything works, but be able to read each line and know like around like what each line does. And I was working on C++, and that's how I was able to go from C++ to mastering HTML, CSS, to learning JavaScript, and then I mean not JavaScript, Java. Yo, Java and JavaScript confuse me. JavaScript, I think it was the Java for web development. So then so basically that's how I learned. Like I research, and I mean like until like a couple months ago I didn't know how to code from scratch, but then I decided to start making my own game. It's in my update video if I haven't uploaded. I've been making my own game, and I've been using Unity, and I've been programming in Java in Unity. And I was like, at first I was following a tutorial to understand how Unity works, and basically it was like how to like use each feature of Unity, but not the scripting part. So then I opened, like, there's when you download Unity, you get like a free, they give you like free projects or tutorial projects that you could learn from, and there's like beginner, advanced, or intermediate, and you open those projects and then it'll be like a game already pre-built, it'll be like a stealth game or a flying sim, and it'll be like crappy games, but it would have unique scripts. And I opened them, and then I just started looking through all the scripts, and then it finally clicked on me, and then I was able to know enough scripts to start making my own scripts, and then from there on I was able to make a couple scripts. Like I have like the basic functionality of the game done. So I learned Java from basically looking at other people's JavaScript, or Java, whatever, by looking at other people's code. So yeah, that's what I did throughout my senior year. I basically just learned all the stuff like years before I had to, and that's why I didn't have to go to class. So my multimedia class I didn't have to go to. What did I take? I wasn't even taking a math class in my senior year because I finished math. My English class I didn't do no homework in English. I just did the essays and the tests, and I think I got a 90 by the end. I had gym, and I didn't have to change at all, because that's how you got a grade. You had to change and play, but the gym teachers liked me. I actually had 2 gyms, but I stopped going to one gym because it was like in the morning 0 period, and that was like way early. That's before everybody else had to go to school. Like school starts at first period. They made a period, 0 period, for people that needed an extra class to graduate, and I was missing the gym. So I actually dropped that class because I was playing baseball, and I decided to use baseball as my college my credit for gym. And I'd done baseball 3 years before. The last 3 years I did baseball, so then now I had 3 extra credits. And I did track and field, so that added credit too. And for my, did I have history? Oh yeah, for my history, I didn't have to really do anything. It was like, I don't know, the history. Oh, my first teacher, for the first semester, I had economics. No, I didn't have economics. I had world history, American history. I don't know. I had a history. It wasn't American or global. It was just some type of history. And then that teacher retired after that semester, and I barely showed up to that class either, but I did order work and projects and passed the test. Then economics, my economics teacher was friends with my English teacher, and my English teacher told her about me, like how I didn't do homework, but that's because I understood and I was never a good student. And my economics teacher was always interested on what I had to say, because like I love business and I always had good ideas, and I always used to like bring up cool topics. Like, so you were talking about we were talking about non-renewable sources that you can't create, and like how that's the reason why it's so valuable. Like gold, you can't make gold, so that's why gold is so valuable. And somebody says, oh, diamond, and they were like, that's so valuable because people had to like go find it. And I told them that's not true. You can make diamonds. And then like people, like half the class was like, wait, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, there's this thing where you could take like your dead animal or your dead pet, and like a dog, and then get him cremated and turn him into a diamond. And you could do that with your hair too. You just like shave like your hair, and then send it to a company, and they'll make you into a diamond. And it's like it's a new process that they invented. So now you can make diamonds. Obviously, the diamonds you mine is more valuable, but we got there because we were talking about blood diamonds. Because he was at a benefit for like saving people, like saving kids from going to mines and working in the blood mines and stuff like that. And she forgot that she had her wedding ring, but her wedding ring wasn't mined from like a blood diamond mine. Like, you know, they sell diamonds with like the security card that says no kids were harmed, and this wasn't a blood diamond. And it was like go safe and stuff. I forgot what it's called. It was like guaranteed. And she forgot, and she just took it off, and then they mentioned that diamond is so valuable because it's like gold, and then we brought that up. And the only reason why I know that is because I forgot what I was searching up. I was searching up some random stuff, and somehow I ended up with diamonds, and somehow I was like, how are diamonds actually formed, like the actual process, and like would you be able to recreate it, and then I just learned so much about diamonds. But yeah, so that's why I'm a terrible student. It's because I do stuff like that. I was searching up some random stuff, then I so happened from that random stuff going to a diamond, from that diamond learning how diamonds are made, like each process naturally, and then I learned how to make diamonds unnaturally, and then I learned that other companies do it using this process. And then with the programming thing too, I played a game, then I wanted to learn how like how the hack worked. Then I learned about modding because of the hack. Then I learned how to modify and like reverse engineer a game, like I forgot what it's called. Yeah, reverse engineer a game. Basically getting all the code from the game and then using that to getting the information you need to create the hack, and then learning how to program and stuff like that, and learning how to run a site, and then learning how to program a site because I had a program that like code HTML to make the site, and then learn how to run a server so I can run my site, and how to get members, and then how to deal with all the traffic in the site, and how to advertise. So yeah, like and that's how I learned. Like I Google certain things, and then that leads me to a whole different world, because I could be searching up how Coca-Cola used to serve cocaine with their soda, because that's how it used to be made before cocaine was illegal. Then I learned that how cocaine is made, and then I learned that cocaine, the plant that they get cocaine from is a certain type of plant that feeds on spiders. And then I learned that if you take a spider and I don't know, cut it in half, and then you can make like you can make gold from it or something, like some crazy stuff like that. And then I just go on a tangent and just keep on learning stuff like that. So that's why I'm a bad student, because if I know something, I can't sit there and just learn it, and I'm not gonna force, like I really can't. Like I get bored and I get distracted and I can't physically concentrate, and then I have to start talking to somebody else or do something to get my mind out, like off of it, because I get mad when somebody tries to teach me something that I already know. I get really mad, and I feel like they're trying to call me stupid when I tell them I already know this, and they're like, okay, sure, but you still have to learn this. I'm like, but I just told you I learned this a long time ago. But yeah, so this is the end of the video. This is like the story about how I became a hacker, programmer, while I'm a bad student, and how I learned about blood diamonds and making real diamonds from hair. Like it was a story about how I learned, basically, because it went in so many different directions. And this is an example of how I learned. Like I was talking about how I'm a bad student, and then I went from that to blood diamonds. So this is the end of the video. Leave a like if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to see more content. Don't forget to favorite if you really like the video, and don't forget to comment with your opinions, or if you have the same thing as me, like you just learn ahead and then you can't really concentrate on what the person trying to teach you, and that's why you're a bad student, or you're a really good student and you do the same thing and you want to give me advice or something. So yeah, see you guys later, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you guys. I said see you guys later like 5 times. So peace.